which procedure has been one of the most exciting advances you've seen in recent years?
Something which has seen a lot of advancements is orbital implants.
Everybody is going for cosmetic surgery. What is one advice you would give to them?
The point of any aesthetic surgery is to improve your aesthetics. It is not to make you look like somebody else.
And what is your whole viewpoint about UC? How far it's come?
I was one of the first 100 members to join YOSI.
Hi everyone, I am Dr. Arnav Singh Saroya, a cataract cornea and refractive surgeon from Sarai Hospital, Kota. Welcome to Eye Conversations with Dr. Rituja Thomas Grover. Hi Dr. Rituja. So, please tell us more about you.
Hi Arnav, thanks for having me. And interestingly, this is not my first eye conversations. I was on the other side for the previous one where we spoke about dry eye, but I am actually Dr. Rituja Thomas and I hail from Delhi, originally from Bangalore. And I'm an oculoplastic surgeon, so it's something different for you, right? Oculoplastic.
Thoda. We know. So, what first drew you to oculoplastic surgery?
So I actually never wanted to become an ophthalmologist. I wanted to be a general surgeon. And somebody told me that general surgery is a very long road, multiple exams to actually get where you want to be. So then I decided to take oculoplastics because ophthalmology is an end specialty, but oculoplastics is where the blood lies.
Correct.
Because cornea is like just so dry. It's not fun for me.
Let's put some lubricant on that topic, and we'll move to the next question. What is the most rewarding part of your work?
For me, the most rewarding part is when I can put patients out of pain. Because just like cornea, pain is a major factor in eye surgeries, be it when we are putting the block or when we're doing the surgery, or if we're doing something to relieve them of pain. So putting people out of pain is a big part of my practice. I don't put a single block without having put topical numbing cream. I don't put a single Botox injection without putting a numbing cream. And being pain-free is my motto for my hospital.
Makes sense. We all are indeed paid. There's too much to hold on this planet Earth and in ophthalmology. So, which procedure? So, we come to advancements. Which procedure has been one of the most exciting advances you've seen in recent years?
As orbit and oculoplastic surgeons, something which has seen a lot of advancements is orbital implants.
Correct.
So when we're repairing fractures or if we're repairing any old trauma, nowadays there are implants which are custom made and 3D printed for a specific patient. So that's called a patient specific implant. So patient specific implants have actually changed the game because just with one single implant, you can symmetrize somebody's orbit. And that makes a huge difference to their confidence and the way they look.
Correct. Anything else that comes with a lot of good treatment advances, especially for maybe patients who have fine lines, dry eyes, or anything else?
Yeah, so InMode has brought about Morpheus. And Morpheus is a great treatment because it does RF microneedling
Correct.
under the eyelids. And what it does is it stimulates collagen production, it gives firmness, it reduces fine lines. So that's a great advancement that's there now.
We see a lot of myths going around on social media, Instagram, Facebook, and all of those things. Would there be one advice you would give to the new generation, male, females? Everybody is going for cosmetic surgery. What is one advice you would give to them?
I would say don't try to look like something. For example, a lot of patients, young patients are coming nowadays, men, women, that they want the cat eye surgery.
Correct.
Okay. Now, the cat eye surgery is not something to take lightly because the point of any aesthetic surgery is to improve your aesthetics. It is not to make you look like somebody else. So cat eye surgery will completely change your look. It's not something I would recommend, but if that's what you want, you can, but it's not something which is reversible, unfortunately.
Like, I got a lot of questions from people who wanted to undergo that intrastromal inking
Yeah,
procedure.
another
Green eyes,
crazy
blue
thing.
eyes.
Yeah.
One of my relatives, can you do that for me? I will never do that. I will never do that. So, what is one thing that you would want to do once you're done with work? Okay, I am gonna go home, relax, and do what?
I actually don't relax much after work because I think what helps me wind down is actually doing some strength training.
Okay.
So, till a couple of years back, I was very much into dance and Zumba, and I was talking to Sharad also about this. But I realized that that's not going to prevent osteoporosis or strengthen my bones as I grow older, because again, I have a shared love of traveling just like you do.
Correct.
And if I want to travel to various locations, next week I'm going to Kyrgyzstan, which is again a very rugged place, lot of
Wow.
hiking. So I realized strength training is the way to go.
I should do strength training so that I can come along and
Yeah.
maybe do some
Most
trekking.
welcome.
What is one memorable story, maybe from your childhood, that brought you to maybe medical fraternity, ophthalmology, and something that you would give advice to the juniors, any aspirants who are watching this video?
Something which brought me to the medical profession is actually a very cute thing. So I was brought up in the United States, where we used to have to go to the dentist every 6 months because dental was covered by insurance. So over there, whenever I went to the office, the dentist would always give me a lollipop at the end, and they would always give me a little toy, and I was like, I want to become a pediatrician. I think I would be a great child doctor. And just the interaction and the way they make people comfortable, that's actually what made me want to do medicine, because I am a very people person.
Okay.
And I like interacting with new people every day.
Okay. And what is your whole viewpoint about UC? How far it's come? And as a member, how do you see it down the coming years?
So I've been with YOSI from the start. I was one of the first 100 members to join YOSI. And I think the leadership has definitely evolved over the years. And I think it's one of the best ways to involve young people, especially not just people who have come into practice of late, but people who are just starting off.
Correct.
Because there are people always looking for opportunities that, ma'am, I want to present, ma'am, I want to meet, ma'am, I want to see somebody who's a potential fellowship preceptor for me. So this is a great place for people, and now it's a great place for international people to come, because India is a great place to learn medicine, to learn skills, and now the international community is actually getting involved and they're able to learn so much from us, and I'm very happy about that.
So, what one last advice that you would give to all the people who are watching the Beautiful Eye Conversations podcast, and any take-home message?
I think the take home message is that you need to sort of let go of stress, because something which I see often is people developing autoimmune conditions and various body ailments because of stress. So anything that you can do which will relieve your stress, be it travel, writing, dancing, singing, whatever it is, indulge in that activity as much as you can, so that you can reduce your stress levels.
My name is Dr. Arnav Singh Saroya, and you're watching Eye Conversations. We are heading to the gala night today, and we'll have some fun.